What comedy cliche do you wish was never used again? Law tracks, law tracks, law tracks, and law tracks. I judge how awful TV shows are by how badly they abuse the law tack. Just to pee my sister off when she watches the Disney Channel, I laugh hysterically every time they use the laugh track. It's so obnoxious when you realize how often they do that crap. 2.5 Men is an encyclopedia of cliches. Futurama did a great 1-2 punch to the standing right behind me one in the episode how Hermes requisitioned his groove back. Bender, oh, she's standing right behind me, isn't she? Morgan, no, I'm in front of you. Pans right to show her in front of him. That scene was made all the more hilarious by the resulting squeal from Bender. Whatever situation shenanigan that causes huge problems for the main character, but could be solved easily if she explained what happened. Instead, there's another 90 minutes of bad decisions before they finally tell the truth and the problem goes away. Yes, it's so unbearable watching the whole goddamn film while screaming in your head, just tell the freaking truth. Just tell the freaking truth. Kid says something only an adult would say. Also, kids that are better than adults at things that would never be possible in real life. I don't care how much secret agent training you have, there is no way that a single child can defeat several trained guards in physical combat. Why didn't you tell me that, derpy derp? You didn't ask. Smart, sassy wife who seems to run the household paired with an overweight, semi-retarded husband who only wants to watch the big game or hang out with the boys but can't because he fricked up and has to make it up to Wiffy. And there are kids in there somewhere, we just don't see them until they have a recital of some sort. Women be shopping. An elderly or middle-aged white person using hip-hop slang and or dancing to hip-hop. If I hear for shizzle one more freaking time. Oh stewardess, I speak jive. Check please. Comma but sir, you haven't even ordered yet. Not a joke, but the premise of she's like such a free spirit, and he's a conservative stiff. I am sick of watching them fall in love. The big football game, no mention of teams, is on but the wife says the husband has to go to a wedding, child's birthday party etc. The husband tries to get out of it but fails, and ends up watching part of it with a portable TV radio, then screams out a reaction to the game at an inopportune time. So specific, but so true. After some vaguely technical dialogue, in English, please. A man dressed as a woman, a thin person dressed as a fat person, old people doing hip things. Perfectly normal, actually attractive protagonist portrayed as too nerdy, too ugly for love, ultimately fixing hair and or removing glasses and pairing up with co-star. TV Tropes calls this Hollywood homely. I'll spare the link. Oh, did I mention there's pot in that, followed by uptight character having massive freak out, including the announcement that I can fly. Transformers 2, I'm looking at you. Not to mention the fact that it always kicks in with full effect within a minute of ingestion. Self-inflicted nunchucks to the balls within that's gotta hurt, frick your commentary. The daughter's elementary school ballet recital that the father can never make it to because he's too self-absorbed. Oh my god, if I had a penny for every time that happened. I love Hook. Frick you. The bumbling dad trope. I make only one exception, and that's Hal from Malcolm in the Middle. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Protagonist fumbles through the entire plot of the movie. He makes every misstep possible with every character he interacts with and situation he finds himself in, rather than actually showing the other character how he is a better person. He gives a long heartwarming speech at the wedding board meeting party product launch dinner that manages to change everyone's opinion of him. 1. Person throws something off screen. 2. Cat screeches in response. 3. Audience goes wild. 4. I blow my brains out. That's one of my favorite running gags from Wet Hot American Summer. Throws trowel onto the ground. Pottery crashing noise. Bucket of water falls over. Potter crashing noise. Knocks lunch tray over. Pottery crashing noise. A girl beats a guy at something and it's hilarious somehow. Haw haw. Women can't play squash. You hilarious. Movie. Guy proceeds to mention how he'll kick so and so's butt when he meets him. Turns out so and so is built like a linebacker. Protagonist throws one pathetic punch. Scene cuts to protagonist with cuts and bruises all over his face sitting on the floor of his apartment leaning against the wall with an ice pack on his hand. Girl walks in. You should see the other guy. Canned laughter. And scene. The hilariously misinterpreted scene that drives the entire angst-ridden plot. For example, imagine a series of events that leads to a girl walking in on her boyfriend in a manner such that it appears he is masturbating to pictures of her grandmother. What's worse is when a romantic comedy film does this. Husband's hot secretary accidentally falls on husband sitting in chair. Then the wife walks in. 90 minutes of crappy punk lines, misunderstandings and the inevitable reconciliation for something that could have been cleared up in a minute. Maniacal laughter, typically by the villain, that ends in coughing. Has anybody ever laughed at this? The only time maniacal laughter was ended correctly was in Austin Powers, either the first or the second. It was just perfect. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. The a little bit adds to that anger all the more, like it's so freaking cool and ironic. Gah. If by X, you mean the complete opposite of X. Not really from a movie, but this makes up nearly 90% of sketches on SNL these days. Repetition. Let's repeat the same joke punchline for 5 minutes until the audience decides it's funny. One wacky character that just says the same thing or a slight variation. Keenan, I'm looking at you. Pop, pop. The flamboyant gay character, Saru played out. Read in super gay voice. When I was a cashier and something didn't ring up right, I swear, every customer would say it must be free then continue to laugh to themselves for the next minute thinking they are so clever. Pairing up complete opposites. One of whom is often too old for this crap. When old people curse or talk about sex, it really isn't that funny. It's been done a billion times and I think it's a cheap way of trying to get a laugh. Same goes for children. I hate IT when people are looking at baby pictures and one of them says, "Oh, you were so cute," and then someone else goes, "Yeah, what happened?" Everybody says this. Always. Stop it now. You didn't make it up. Or it's the girlfriend and the mom. Look at the little PP. Mooem. White dude says something. Anything. Black guy twists it into something racist. Comedy gold. As I'm reading each one of these, I can think of examples when they weren't funny and examples when they were. It's all about delivery. Makes me think of the quote about there being only 7 different stories in this world. The rest are just variations of those stories. I've heard it as there are only 2 stories. 1. Stranger comes to town. 2. Someone embarks on a journey. There is always a love story. Stop that crap. This annoys me beyond belief. Not every movie needs a love story wedged into it for no reason. This applies not only to comedies, but movies in general. I'm sorry, it's just that I have attention deficit dis. Whoa, look at that shiny object butterfly. This joke is 10+ years old and it always ends the same way. Stop using IT. 2 polar opposites standing back to back smirking with their arms crossed on a movie poster making you think, how are they ever going to get along? The mean angry kid that kicks or irritates the protagonist until he does something mean back. Other characters see the protagonist do this and fawn all over the poor little child. This is real life. Sitcoms about attractive people with hip, spacious apartments in New York City who never seem to have to actually do any work in order to pay for said apartment, which is made even more ridiculous by the fact that the humor inevitably revolves around how said attractive people fail at life by being generally incompetent. What did you just say? Napkins? No, before that. Forks? No, before that. I fricked your mom. Half-hour long awkward misunderstandings that could have been easily cleared with a single clarifying question. Stereotypical stoners. The way stoners are portrayed in movies and TV, you would think they were either on H or acid. There is no way I'm doing that. Not over my dead body. I'd frick my grandma before I'd do that thing. Quick cut to the character doing that thing. And his grandma looking exhausted, but satisfied. Common no. There is absolutely no way I am doing X. Cuts to character doing X. This was never funny in the first place. Why does everyone do this? Edit. What's worse is the amount of comments in replies to this saying yeah. I hate it when that happens. Except in this one comedy that I like. There's the tangent to this one. So one of us needs to do X. Everyone slowly turns to the doormat character. That being a Star Trek fan immediately qualifies you as a nerd and vice versa. That knowing the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek makes you into a nerd. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.